I think one of the things that most of the clients that we work with are seeking is more freedom, whether it's more financial freedom, more time freedom, freedom for taking care of themselves, freedom from having to hire, freedom from having clients that are dragging them down and exhausting them. I want to share with you today a presentation of our peaceful profitability model that we have built over the last 4 years in working with tax professionals and accountants in automating their workflows. And we believe that this is the thing that is holding most small practices back from having the life that you want to have, from having the relationships that you want to have with your loved ones, because so much time and energy is going into the administrative efforts of your small practice. And that is resulting in you being burnt out, exhausted, having to bring on team members to try and help you manage the workload of your clients. And it doesn't have to be that way. If we haven't had the chance to meet yet, I'm Jamie Gruhl, and after helping over 500 tax and accounting practices implement automation with TaxDome, I can confidently say that automation is the only way to increase your profit and time freedom in your practice. And so today what I want to do is I want to share with you first the model, and then the next thing I'm going to share with you are some of the favorite features that we have of TaxDome and why we love TaxDome so much. So it's going to give you a bit of a deep dive on both the mindset you need as well as the strategy you need in order to move towards the practice of your dreams. And so let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. So this is our peaceful, profitable practice model. And what all of us want is freedom, and that comes through peace and through profit. And it really stems from these 4 key factors. The first one is standardizing. So a lot of people say, well, what is standardizing? Well, I have so many different types of clients and they all have different needs. Well, standardization is not about so much client that you're working with. We have to stop thinking about looking at our client levels. You can move out of the way in which your clients work or need you to work, and you start looking at things more through the process. This is where standardization lies. And so the way that we explain this is that you need to take yourself out of the weeds of what your individual clients need, and you need to zoom up to about a 50,000 foot level. You need to be looking at the overarching process in which you take all of your clients through. This is what standardization is. And once we have identified that process, that general process that we take clients through, then we can start fine-tuning and really refining our standardization to be able to do things like having only 3 packages that we offer that allows us to serve all of the needs of our clients without overcomplicating and customizing every interaction we have with a client. Now, what does that do for you? Well, there's a few things. The first thing it does for you is it creates efficiency. By having everything be the same for every single client, you are able to create efficiency where you're right now either spending your time documenting all the unique nuances of your every client that gets treated differently, and you have to start taking the reins of your business and thinking like an entrepreneur, because that's what you are. You did not create a job for yourself. You created a business, and that business needs you sometimes to put on your entrepreneurial hat and let go of the skills-based way you've been working and really look at how can I think like a business owner or an entrepreneur that allows me to standardize my process. And so I want you to first start with standardizing. That is your first step towards a more peaceful, profitable practice, more time freedom, more profit, all of the things that we want in our businesses. The next thing you have to think about is automation. So once you have standardized your process, now you can start going and looking at the tool you use. Now, we love TaxDome because automation is actually what TaxDome does. So many of the other tools out there right now are doing parts of the automation that TaxDome does, but TaxDome does it all. And that is where efficiency gets made, because you stop having to manage the administrative tasks of going out to another software to create your invoice, of sending an email to your client out of another software, of having to go and manage your reminders and client communications and status updates. All the things that TaxDome can do, you can do automatically in many cases through the TaxDome automation features. So what we love to talk about is that you need to learn how your practice management software works and look at how can you leverage the features of its automations to get you back the time that you want, to get you back additional capacity to create more profit, to get you back from having to track and document all of the different stages that each individual client is at. How can you leverage automation to allow you to do that? And so that is the power of TaxDome. And the thing is you have to understand how the tool works in order to be able to do that. So there's a couple ways you can go that route. One, you can just figure it out on the fly and probably be really frustrated. The other is you can dig into the documentation of the tool that you're using and figure it out from them giving you bits and pieces of the picture. Okay, communication is critical when it comes to your client experience. So when you create your process and you implement your automations, you cannot forget about the most critical piece, which is your client. And so what we have done is in our workflows, we're always thinking about the client experience. How can we be proactive communicators with our clients, not only in the initial implementation of TaxDome, where you're moving them to your new portal, but into a modified or new way of working with us. Maybe you've decided this year you want to do deposits or minimum fees at the beginning of your tax preparation. You have to prepare your clients for that. You can't just throw it to them and not expect some or many of them to come back to you with questions. But if you have a thoughtful communication plan and implement and leverage automation to deliver that communication plan, you are much more likely to have clients that are satisfied and understand what's expected of them, which results in fewer questions to you, which lets you and your team focus on what matters, doing the work. And the client at the end will be very happy because they will have questions, but if they have a place where they know they can go and get the answers, the communications we're sending automatically through our workflow, that changes the game for them. And so then our final item that you can see here is we have optimize. We've had a lot of clients come to us and they paid us a lot of money to set up their systems. And a lot of those clients are probably still using the system that we created for them 2, 3, 4 years ago. And the reason that is not ideal for them and their success is that you have to continue to learn about the changes of the tool and also be interested in continuing to optimize the way in which you're working. And so when you optimize and you make this a flywheel where you're always looking at how I can standardize better, how I can automate and leverage the tool better, how I can communicate better, how I can optimize, then you just keep the flywheel going around and around and around. And you, year over year over year, will find that you are working more efficiently, that you are having more capacity, that you are working fewer hours, that you are making more profit, that you are able to bring on new team members smoothly and without any hassle for you. This is where the flywheel really does take off, is if you add that optimization piece in there and then continue to standardize and make things better, and then continue to automate and continue to add that client experience and always be looking at these 4 categories around and around and around each year, you are going to be, 1, stepping into that business owner role and really owning that. And 2, you're going to see the benefits of such massive improvements in your systems that your profit increases massively, that your time freedom increases massively. And this is all that any of us want that have stepped into this world of business ownership. We all did it because we wanted more freedom. So the first thing about TaxDome that we absolutely love is I talked about it in the ability to track the statuses of our clients and know where our clients are at, not having to manually track on where they're at or have folders or documents that we're passing around the office to try and do that. The thing that does is the game changer for so many practices that eliminates your Excel spreadsheet if you have it, eliminates your whiteboard if you have one, eliminates the stack of folders if you have one, eliminates that drawer where everything goes and gets dropped to then go to the next step of your process, is the pipelines. So pipelines in TaxDome are automated workflows. They are what I'm looking at here. So you can see it's under the workflow section of the TaxDome system under pipeline. And what this does is a breakdown of the process from A to B. Now, A being the starting point that everybody starts at, and B being the result that your client has paid you for or is going to pay you for. And every column that you see in between this is a stage, which represents a step in that process. And so the way TaxDome works is a waterfall process. So looking at something like tax preparation, you have to onboard, you have to gather the documents, you have to then prepare the return, you then have to do the signatures, you then have to get your offboarding done. All of those things happen in a linear fashion. So TaxDome is beautiful for the process in which you serve your clients. And nearly every service that you do can be built into an automated pipeline in TaxDome. So when I was talking about the statuses, the really cool thing about TaxDome is we are able to see on a click of a button exactly where a given client is at. So let's take Acorn Craft here. I'm going to go ahead, and they may have multiple jobs in here, so don't judge here. But I'm going to go in and I can look up my Acorn Craft client account, and I can apply this filter. And when I do that, it will eliminate everybody else from my pipeline, even though I had hundreds of people in there. And I can now see exactly where Acorn Craft is at. And I can see this client has not started their process with this yet. It is still pending the client. I can then take the action now knowing that and tell the client, if they're on the phone with me, saying like, where's my return, right? Like, it changes the way in which you can communicate with your client. So if you have a heated client, you can instantly know, is this on them or is it on us? And then you can take the action as appropriate. So that is one of my favorite things. In addition to the automated pipelines, is the ability to see immediately exactly the status of a client. All right. Now, the other one I wanted to show is the client portal, because it is so easy to use. So I'm going to go into my client account list. You can see, I can see all of my active clients here. I can then click on the account that I'm looking for or search for it if I need to filter it down. And I have lots of other filtering options, which is so great about TaxDome. You're no longer limited to just that Excel spreadsheet where you have to like do the find function. No, you get to actually filter based on what pipelines they're in, what is their EIN number, on who's assigned to them as a project. There's so much stuff there that we can do. Okay, so let's go into the Acorn Crafts account, and I'm going to actually show you what the client portal looks like for Acorn Crafts. So let's say we had that mad client on the account. We could say, okay, Mr. Acorn, I'm going to go and I'm going to, while we're on the phone, log in, go to my login page. It's going to be w4tp.taxdome.com, and I'm going to ask you to sign into your account. Okay, great. All right. So I have on account that your email address we have on file is extragruelj@testkelly.com. Is that correct? Yes, great. Okay, well, use that and go ahead and go to the portal and put that in. Do you remember your password? No, I don't remember my password. You can click on this. I can reset your password for you right now. You'll get an email. Click on that email and we'll get your password reset. Okay, great. Okay, so now you're logging in. Great. So let me log in. I'm going to look at it while you're looking at it so I can guide you and tell you exactly what I need you to do. I can, as the firm owner, actually see what my client is looking at real time. And I can go through and I can say, oh, looks like Mr. Kelly, we are waiting for you to kick off your tax season with us. We just need you to read through this email. You need to then just sign off that you're ready to get going. Click that box and it will move you to the next stage. This is the game changer for the way in which you operate your practice. You don't have to do it the old way. The old school way is dying, and the practice owners that do it that way are going to just be ready to burn it all down in the next coming years. So we have the tools to make this so much better. I invite you to think about how a tool like TaxDome can transform the way you're working. Hey there, tax pros, accountants, and bookkeepers. Are you looking to unlock more profit in your small practice without the extra long hours, managing costly staff, or losing the precious work-life balance? Well, you're in the perfect place. Our 12-month signature program is designed specifically for you. Imagine automating your practice with TaxDome to not only boost your profits, but to reclaim your time and freedom this year. From automated pipelines that minimize manual work, streamlined email communications for an enhanced client satisfaction, to our game-changing automated billing processes, ensuring that you get paid on time every time. We've got it all. Workflows for Tax Pros is the industry's #1 practice automation course, guiding you through the setup of your first automated TaxDome pipeline in just a matter of hours so that you are an empowered user of TaxDome. Let us help you to transform your small practice into a peaceful, fully automated practice with our proven 4-step process. Join the over 700 tax professionals, accountants, and bookkeepers who have multiplied their profits and streamlined their operations to work less, all while delivering an exceptional service that keeps their clients coming back. You will gain instant access to our proven templates for all your practice processes, step-by-step guidance for mastering TaxDome, our live office hours for direct support, and unlimited on-demand pipeline reviews by our experts, and of course, our proven best practice SOPs for your small practice. Ready to revolutionize your tax practice? Click the link in the description below this video to learn more about workflows for tax pros and join us now. Unlock the door to more profit, less work, and a better work-life balance. Your future self will thank you. So we'll see you on the inside, and cheers to your success.